We're
Okay.
starting.
Let me call my boy Craig in here. He's a good dude.
Who's Craig?
Now recording.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I like that guy.
Good guy. Well, one day actually put these audio podcasts up. We can have the audio.
Now recording.
So, guys, you see that new Trigun show?
No.
Yeah, it's okay. I kind of like the animation style. I saw the first couple episodes.
They were all like, "Fuck the illusion. This is just a sci-fi show now." Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they start with that shit.
Yeah, they really did. They don't let you think it's a Western at all.
Yeah.
Which
Very
is
interesting move on their part.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a bummer. I think that's kind of a mistake, personally.
Yeah, it's kind of like a slow reveal, and you're like, "Oh, it's just anime" at the end of it.
Yeah. But like, here's the thing: is I also started rewatching the original Trigun, and my God, is it fucking slow.
It's like a scenario of the week kind of show. It wasn't like a solid storytelling thing.
Yeah.
It was like-
So it takes a long time for the main plot to really pick up, right? But this one, they start right off with like, there's a big bad guy doing big bad guy things.
Yeah.
Which in the OG Trigun, you don't realize that there might be a big bad guy doing big bad guy things until like episode like 5 or 6.
Oh, later than that, I think. That show was 26 episodes. It was like halfway through the show.
No, it's not that far because they are pretty early on. Spoilers for like a 20 or 30-year-old anime. Vash talks about his twin brother.
Yeah, but I don't think you get like the actual. Cause I think they show clips of him in that like grass environment thing they have on the ship, but I don't think they actually show it as being a spaceship until like way later.
Oh yeah, no, the sci-fi reveal doesn't come for.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the reveal that like there's a big plot doesn't like takes a while even. Like it starts out almost like a monster of the week kind of deal, right?
Yeah. This show it just starts with it. It's like, yep, I killed everybody.
You killed everybody.
You did.
Ba-dum.
So when they gonna? That's
Outro-
Cowboy Bebop. When they gonna remake Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that. Did you see the article about the original creator?
Yeah, I did. He
No.
watched like the opening scene and then shut it off.
Yeah, he was like, I've seen enough. They needed my involvement, so...
As he was counting his stack of money.
Well, Space Dandy wasn't bringing it in.
For sure. I'm sure he's done more than just Space Dandy and Samurai Champloo, though.
He had another one
Space
after.
Dandy was like 20 years ago, wasn't it? It was like mid 2000s.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe like 2010, but it was not that long ago, or not that recent.
I haven't seen Space Dandy, but
It's very not watchable.
Really?
It's watchable if you
Yeah.
like a certain type of anime.
Yeah, it's like a space thing again, but it's like super goofy. It doesn't have like a serious thread to it.
It's much more Radical Edward than it is like serious like crime thriller Cowboy Bebop. There's
Gotcha.
goofy shit in all his shows, but like they were balanced with really serious moments.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right,
I like Cowboy Bebop for the mix of goofy and serious.
I mean, I'm the best character on Cowboy Bebop.
Were you?
That's
Alright.
funny. Who the hell are you?
I'm from a disappointing Square Enix game.
Yeah, I think we can all agree to that.
I don't even know which game you're supposed to be from.
Did you just roll through a fucking belt store? Just like grab all the belts? What's going on with that outfit?
Let me tell you about Final Fantasy X.
This, yeah, dude. Fucking Lulu raided the buckle store.
Are you a
Her
pilgrim?
dress is made out of belts. The whole bottom. It's just belts.
What are we talking? You know what? I'm a sleepy guy.
All right,
What are we doing?
speaking of belts, Ceurvels, you can take charge on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast.
Hey,
I don't have anything open.
What?
Hey.
What?
Stop.
What?
Stop. Intro.
We did an intro.
Yeah. No, we
No,
didn't.
that was the cold open. My God, podcast's not fucking difficult. Cold
we did
open.
not do the station
Intro.
identification.
News. What we've been playing. Closing arguments. That is a podcast.
Okay,
It's been 30. This is episode 40.
All right, well, introduce yourself. I set up the fucking cameras. I put the doc together. What do you want, Tom? Let's go. Introductions. Snap, snap.
Nobody
Well,
liked the dog.
hello and welcome to episode 40 of Digital Deliberations. Shut up, you fucking hamster. It is currently the 26th. Is that the date?
Nope.
27th, something like that. What's the date?
No,
It's
not even
28th.
close. It's the 28th.
28th. Oh, not even close. Sorry, it's 2 days
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, but you got it wrong twice. That's pretty not
But
good.
you said not even close. 28th of January. Yeah, we got shit going on. We got Cory
Yeah,
over there as
hey.
Radical Edward. We got the Curves here as the guinea pig, and it's me, Thomas.
If
I'm
anyone
Lightning.
wants to poke those feet for the guinea pig, that will be on our Ko-Fi tip jar.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
Private instances only. Limited quantities available.
don't ask, don't tell.
We have to also pay for a psychiatrist afterwards, so be nice to him.
All right, so Tom.
Where's the? I have to interrupt you. Where's the link for the dog?
Oh my god.
It is in the group chat.
Is it in the group chat?
Correct. I think so, unless you sent to me specifically.
All right, Tom, send
I
it in the
never
group
got
chat. I might have just sent it
Oh
specifically.
my god.
I'm sorry, we're missing someone. We're thrown off today. It's the heart and soul.
You can keep talking.
Oh, hey, so it's Ceurvels, buddy. This one's for you. Wizards of the Coast reversed all its talk about changing the licensing agreement for.
For the OGL.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
What?
Yeah.
Explain.
So the OGL is the open gaming license that allows independent content creators to make content for Dungeons and Dragons. Wizards of the Coast announced that they leaked that they were gonna make changes to it, that would basically allow them to own all created content. If they decided to, like, they could send you a cease and desist or like monetize your stuff. It was gross. It was classic corporate bullshit.
Didn't Microsoft do
So,
that something similar with GitHub?
I don't know, maybe, but with Wizards here, a lot of people went and canceled their Dungeons and Dragons like subscriptions. I think there's like a mobile app you can get, or like a thing that you can subscribe to, and a bunch of people canceled that. There was a huge fan and community backlash, which Wizards has been getting a lot of lately, and they've been from the Magic community. They just took a huge financial cut on Q4 of 22. So it sounds like they're listening to the people on this one, and they're not gonna try to own all content, and they're just gonna let people continue to homebrew D&D, which we fucking love because that's how you build the community. That's how you keep the game going. Like, yeah, no, free content.
Bunch
We
of
love free
fucking
content.
nerds.
There was a really good Legal Eagle on YouTube video about the legal change to the document that went into pretty good detail about how Wizards couldn't really change the document or it really wouldn't have mattered. You should go check that out. He's a lawyer on YouTube. He does fun stuff.
Is there a legal falcon?
No.
No. You're thinking Birdman.
What about legal osprey?
I don't even know
No,
what
it's
an
just
osprey
illegal.
is.
Seahawk.
Okay. Well, thanks for birds, Tom. Speaking of for the birds, like that transition, that one's yours, buddy.
That's great.
You probably know more about this, Tom. So Riot's code got stolen.
Yeah, I actually forget how it all happened, but they released a tweet saying that they were infiltrated in some way, but no personal data was released
Yeah, no
that they know of,
information or credentials were leaked, according to them.
and then they came out later and says, yeah, we lost the source code for a bunch of stuff.
Specifically League of Legends as well. Like, that's big.
League of Legends, and I think some of their other properties as well. So, yeah,
What do you
that's
mean?
something.
The source code for League of Legends is just Warcraft 3 code.
But part of that is apparently it's being ransomed back to them.
Yeah, it happens all the time. That's ransomware.
They're not going to be paying it, even though I think they could. I mean, they have more money than most countries.
Yeah. I guess they're making League of Legends too now.
Are they really?
And you think they'd have to?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, they may have redundancy.
What do you mean?
They may have like a redundant copy somewhere.
But how does that? I mean, they still have the source code. But the problem is releasing the source code to the public.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they have the files, and they know what the source code is. It's just other people don't have it, so they don't know how it works. So they can get around, like they can easier to get hacks out there. People are
Yeah.
can take the code and make clones.
Yeah, no
China
one
loves
wants
to
League of
pull out.
Legends.
Yeah, like that Chinese game that was just Overwatch. They sort of reskinned everything. Yeah. So
No, I
that's
mean,
the
But
problem.
speaking of illicit Chinese products,
Oh,
oh yeah.
so this is a new. This is coming from PC Gamer. Apparently, crypto miners are trying to get rid of many, 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 many mining cards that are completely useless now that crypto mining's over. So they're on, AliExpress or Wish or other Chinese retail sites, and they're selling repainted, heavily used graphics cards.
That's so
mining,
wild.
depending on what they were mining, it's usually not that great of a tarnish on them, so you can still get use out of them if they're cheap enough.
Yeah, but
I'm not like
they're
did it say what they were mining?
they're repainting them as new. They're like
I
setting
mean,
them.
yeah, you're getting shit off fucking AliExpress. Buyer beware. Just heads up. I buy shit from AliExpress all the time, and I'm never disappointed because I know what I'm buying. Like I know that I don't know what I'm getting.
I
I
mean,
should
yeah,
say more accurately.
you're not really rolling the dice so much as like
Yeah, you're putting a
Yeah.
blindfold on, walking through like broken glass.
you're sticking your arm in like a syringe bin. Like you know something's gonna happen. If it
What's
doesn't,
that like that Italian sculpture where it's like a lion's mouth and you have to put your hand inside of it?
yeah. Well, but those don't actually bite you. They're just,
In this example, they might actually bite you,
that's true.
but you put your hand in there. It's your own fault.
So yeah, I would probably not recommend getting a graphics card. I wouldn't have recommended it before. I guess
How much are they in what cards?
I guess that's fair, but they're gonna be crap.
If it's like a 3080 and they're something like $200, I would probably take the gamble.
I mean,
Video cards are very expensive right now.
if they're being sold as new, I bet they're pretty high price comparatively. They should be much cheaper.
Yeah,
It's
no,
one
for
thing
sure.
to
They should be
just
definitely sold as marked.
as long as you sell them as mining cards, whatever, let people buy that shit. You're not gonna make that much off of it, but
RX
Yeah, but
580s.
they're not doing them that way. They're selling them as a new product or lightly used product. Like they're not selling
I
them
mean
as
that is scummy. I agree.
But I don't expect anything that's not scummy on like AliExpress. I expect only the scummiest. It's a
My
hive of
Kirby's are adorable.
like villainy.
It's China. It's the Wild West.
Speaking of overused catchphrases, Tom.
Which ones did I say?
I used a Star Wars hive of scum and villainy. Yeah, okay. Speaking of overused catchphrases, oh geez, Justin Roiland resigned from Squanch Games.
yeah.
Cory, what are you gonna do without him?
Following both domestic violence revelations, I think he appeared in court recently, very recently, and accusations of grooming of underage fans. Ooh-wee.
Yeah. What is it? Wubba lubba dub dub, right?
Oh,
These are some pretty heavy allegations, guys. Is he gonna be in Rick and Morty anymore? They're still making Rick and Morty, right?
Squanch Games.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, you guys go.
Well, they are still gonna make Rick and Morty season 7 as well. Like no Roiland.
Oh, so he's still doing Rick and Morty then?
Stop doing the voice. Let's talk about it
Yeah, you
moderately
can-
seriously. We can do the
No,
voice at the end.
Yeah. So yeah, Justin Roiland's a piece of garbage, and he was
all these.
at the head of a lot. He had it all to lose, right? And he's thrown away a lot of really big projects now, which means there's a lot of people involved with them, and that really sucks for those people that were working under him.
He was another nerd king like Josh Whedon, like another fucking top of his game, all the nerd cred, probably even beyond Josh Whedon at this point.
It's not actually abuse. You just don't get it.
What?
Yeah. You see, you have to have like a huge brain to get the joke.
You're still doing the bits.
So yeah. So actually, he wasn't abusing her. He was just like playing 3D chess or whatever. And he's got like a Bugatti or something. Yeah, no.
All of these statements I've read all claim the reason why he's being dropped is because of the
domestic charges,
domestic violence, but nobody's mentioning these like pedophile texts.
Well, because those are really heavy allegations. They clearly seem to be coming from his account on Twitter, but those are just those are just allegations. absolutely accused of and charged with, and I think has multiple like. There's apparently Squanch Games went through a thing in 2018 where they had a sexual harassment lawsuit against them. It didn't name him in the lawsuit, but whoever filed the suit against them charged that there was no like absolutely no part of the company on trying to stop the sexual harassment. And then these domestic violence ones, he's going to court. Like this happened. There
Yeah,
are witnesses. He assaulted a partner. I think a girlfriend at the time. So this is clear cut case of like actual court things moving forward. Where the other things are, while he very much seemed to have both messaged underage girls and had a assistant message underage girls and even girls of age as well, and said really creepy, weird things to them on Twitter and through DMs. Which is, by the way, if you're gonna do that, don't leave receipts. That's rule number one, guys. Like, what are you doing?
That's an Royal verified account.
Yes.
Oh, that was me.
Exactly. Like, don't use your verified account. I guess it's weirder if you don't use your verified account. Like, trust me, I'm just from Royland.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so he's out. He's ousted from working with Cartoon Network. He's not going to be in season 7 of Rick and Morty, which is insane. Just cancel the show at that point. He's the two main characters.
It's
Like,
him riffing on himself. That is the show.
Yeah.
who are we going to get instead? The guy from Archer as the dad? That voice?
The dad?
The dad, Jerry, is played by Cyril from Archer. I don't remember his name.
Oh. H. John Benjamin is Archer.
Yeah, that's not the Cyril Figus's voice though.
Yeah, that's
Is it Carell? No. What is his name?
Steve. Is it Steve? No, it's not Steve Carell. It's the other one who looks like Steve Carell.
He was on SNL for a while, and he's not very
Yeah,
good in anything besides voice acting. He's good as a voice actor, but he's always the same
it'll come back
voice.
to me.
Whatever, we'll think about that later. So Justin Roiland's out of working with Rick and Morty for season 7 because that's been cemented down for a contract for many seasons to come. We'll see how that goes. He's resigned himself. Like, he wasn't kicked out, but he resigned from Squanch Games, which I think he founded. Um,
Yeah, that's coming.
and Hulu cut their contract with him for whatever show he had on Hulu.
Solar Opposites.
Yeah. So he was, went from being, the untouchable nerd king to kind of a pariah now, which is good. There should be accountability in these situations. I'm just waiting to see the picture of him wearing the white T-shirt that says "I'm a feminist."
Is that what Josh Whedon did?
Yeah, Josh Whedon had a T-shirt, like a famous picture of
Parnell. Chris Parnell.
Chris Parnell. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry, that man's out of work. Is Archer still going?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, he's still got Archer then.
He was in something else I watched too, some other animated show.
Xbox second quarter revenue is down by 13%. But
Yeah, they should release a game.
that's fair, but their losses are at least mostly offset by Game Pass growth, which has been continuing to rise. I don't use
Shall
Game
rise
Pass.
more when they release a game.
They do be liking their subscriptions. Subscriptions everywhere. Even if you're not gaming, they're still getting their money.
How do you guys like Game
Office
Pass?
365. It's fine, but I always forget that it exists, and I end up buying the game anyway.
I avoid this by not having Game Pass. I have enough
Hitman
subscriptions in my life.
just released on Game Pass.
How does a game like
So you
Hitman
can-
release on Game Pass? There's so much DLC and crap to that game.
Well, they changed Hitman 3 to be called Hitman: The World of Assassination, and that is now the first 3 games. I mean, these current 3 games, not the original 3, but these 3 games that are out now, and the DLC for the first game. It's called The World of Assassination. That's what you get. So you get all 3 games plus the DLC from the first one.
I wish I had bought that instead of all 3 games separately.
Yeah, it was a giant pain in the
And
ass.
then I had to buy
World Assassination
had to
update
bu-
just rolled out
I had to
last
buy
week.
one twice because it didn't link up properly.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
It was really
I had, like,
annoying.
I had some on Epic, some on Steam. I said fuck it, and I got the package.
This was
on,
all
during
on
the sale.
Steam, but it didn't accept my version of 1 for the one that like links up with everything. So I had to buy like 1 DLC. It was $30 extra.
Check to see if you have Hitman 1 or 2 already installed, because that data does not go away. automatically. I had to go back and because the game is like 70 gigs, the first game, and then 3 is like 80 or something like that. So I had 2 versions of Hitman installed, and one's completely useless because
Uh,
3 has it all.
I don't think I have them installed. I think I uninstalled them when I thought I had to install them first and then have 3 recognize they existed.
It's very confusing.
It was really annoying.
Yeah.
But
You just need to install 3, and 3 will add levels 1 and 2 if you have them in your library.
But if you get Hitman, get all 3 of them because it really is a complete game altogether.
Yeah. I was playing the Columbia level earlier today.
Although it's noticeable to jump from like the full rendered 3D cutscenes into the weird comic book, moving comic book style.
Yeah, they were getting thrown around by Square. They did not care.
It's a good game.
Oh, it's a great game.
Even the comic book style looks fine. I don't know. I don't have any complaints with it. Hitman doesn't need cutscenes. You just need Diane to tell you where to go.
All right, 47. Here's a fun one.
Yeah.
Ah,
So like,
yeah.
So Xbox has games planned for release. That GoldenEye release just came out yesterday, I think. You have Redfall's apparently coming out this year. You have whatever that Bethesda game is. I keep forgetting. Space generic.
Oh, the space one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Space Skyrim.
Silk Song is gonna be on Game Pass this year too.
Yeah.
For all you bug
That's
enjoyers.
not a Microsoft game though. I'm thinking of first
No,
party
no.
releases. Forza Motorsport supposedly coming out this year. I think Perfect Dark is still slated for this year. Fable, there's no word on. There's a bunch of games coming out. There's that Avowed. Is that what that game's called?
Is that the Obsidian one? The Obsidian Skyrim?
Obsidian one that looks like Skyrim. Yeah, that's still in
I
development.
mean, I'll
There's
buy anything by Obsidian.
they have like 18 plus game studios under their belt right now. So there's a bunch of games in the works. Last year they released like 2 games, and none of them were major games. So they're really slacking. Halo Infinite was 2021, so even that wasn't last year.
I guess
2022 was a very dead year for Microsoft and Ubisoft.
but Grounded officially came out, and that's under Microsoft's label.
Yeah. And Grounded, I think, is doing pretty good.
Obsidian
But
makes
that came on beta in 2021, I think.
beta, yes.
Beta cook.
Beta
correct me.
mail. Yeah,
I thought it
Obsidian
sucked, right?
might be one of the few fucking Microsoft studios pushing right now.
They're a good studio.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't always loved their games. That fucking Outer Worlds game was something. It was fun writing.
It was just fine.
It was fun
My
writing.
sister-
but
I played it. It was just fine. You know what I mean? Like,
My sister came up to me and just handed me a copy of that game on the PS4 and says, "Here, you can have this."
yeah, I mean,
I don't know why. I have that on PS4 now.
it's worth a playthrough for a while, which is I find so many of the mechanics kind of boring.
yeah.
See, it's just like Fallout, and Fallout is incredibly boring.
Fallout New Vegas is way more interesting though. Just like the DLC's really intriguing.
I think you're kind of heightening up the goodness of New Vegas. It's a good game, but the flogging of that dick needs to stop.
You could say what
No,
you
it's-
want, but for a game of its time, like the open world works really well. The atmosphere is great. The dungeon exploring in that game's fun.
When you say working well with anything to do with New Vegas, I have to question you because that game did not work very well.
It works well now. I mean, it does crash on
It's-
occasion, but whatever. Every
It's
Obsidian game I love is like missing chunks, Tom. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I fucking
Famously unfinished.
Yeah.
Knights of the Republic 2.
I love that game, and I know it's missing chunks, but it's great. It's so good.
You see here, boys? Obsidian, come on in here. We need you to finish the Star Wars game. Yeah, come in here. And you have exactly 1 year. See you later.
Actually, you get 9 months, and also we're not going to pay you enough money. It's like they're always getting screwed. I feel bad for them.
Please.
Yeah, but they make good games. I mean,
They do.
It's fine. It's fine.
They make,
I'm really looking forward to this Skyrim game they got coming out.
yeah, I want to see their Skyrim. I think it will be good as long as it's maybe not too mired in the weird. Like I love anti-capitalism as much as the next man, but I think the game relied heavily on like the goofy tone far too much, and it made like the characters and
Outer
everything.
Worlds.
Yeah, Outer Worlds. Everything else
Yeah.
felt kind of irreverent to the point where I didn't care what was going on. Whereas like
Yeah, it was a little too out there,
New
right? It
Vegas
was
is
a
a
little
serious game that also has fun, goofy shit in it. Like it's a very serious story. There's horrible, horrible things happening.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like Outer Worlds is maybe a little too self-aware almost.
Yeah.
Whereas,
That doesn't bother me. That
I
But
game
mean,
I
is
mean,
fine.
it's a perfectly fine game.
yeah,
There's
Yeah, it
fun
did.
characters. Like I enjoyed doing the character, like the party member quests. I enjoyed, recruiting followers and making friends and stuff. Um,
They're
and
making a
and
second
the
one.
worlds are fine, but they feel kind of samey. Um, yeah, no, it's just fine. That which is honestly, in my mind, sometimes a bad thing to say about a game is that it's just fine,
yeah.
right?
That's the
Like
worst place a
it's
game
not
could be.
bad, it's not bad by any means.
Also,
And
The
it is
games.
good, but it's ultimately
while I enjoyed the
it's fine.
storyline and the characters way more than like Fallout 4, Fallout 4 was a really good, solid shooter underneath all the crap. Like upgrading guns was great. There were a lot of nice additions to Fallout 4. I just wish anything else was good in that game.
That home base thing was
Here, I'm
terrible.
Preston here, and I've got another settlement for you
That was
to
awful.
protect.
But
Another
like
settlement needs our help.
the legendary system, I actually like how they did perks, and I liked upgrading the weapons. That was all fun. That
I didn't like anything about Fallout 4. That game was miserable.
the shooting was good.
The best part of Fallout 4 is when you went to Quincy and it was literally a toxic waste zone.
Yeah,
Okay,
That
well,
was
I
the
was like,
best
wow,
part.
it's so realistic.
don't.
It's like it's like an outhouse with some like mutant kid living in it. That's like Quincy. Oh, it was great.
I like walking through Cambridge, and it's just full of ghouls and science buildings.
Accurate.
It's like the real place.
Yep, just go through Harvard to Kendall. You're gonna see some ghouls, and you're gonna see some science. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Sometimes if you're lucky, a science school.
Also,
But the worst thing about the games that are released like Outer Worlds is that if you're in the middle, you're the most forgettable game. If you're really bad, people are going to talk about you. If you're really good, people are going to talk about you. The ones that are just okay are the ones that never, live up.
Yeah,
especially if you're
They're
trying to
never
live up
remembered.
to fucking New Vegas, a game that's on a fucking pedestal.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I mean, I agree with that pedestal, Tom. Those DLCs in fucking New Vegas are some of my favorite little storylines.
It's the best Fallout game. I'll give it that. Whatever bar that may place it, it's the best one of those.
So yeah, that's Xbox, Game Pass. Microsoft's down. I guess they fired a bunch of people recently, so it's not really much of a surprise. Tom,
It's been a bunch of
Everybody
tech
laid people
layoffs.
off.
Everybody's laying off.
Tom, I want you to read
everybody.
exactly what you wrote for this headline for the next story.
Let me tab over. Uh,
Yeah,
Naughty
read
Dog
this
be
word for
like
word.
Uncharted, more like unfarted. LOL.
And that's what I'm
That's what I
dealing with.
wrote.
That's what I'm dealing with.
I also capitalized farted in case they didn't catch the
Farted.
pun.
Yeah, dude. You should have italicized it too.
You
It's
really
already
should
You
have.
really gotta spell it out to these mongoloids in here.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't say that, dude.
You
That's
absolutely
not a
I
word you can use anymore. You
no,
absolutely cannot say
no,
that
no,
one
no, no, no,
anymore.
no, no.
I just said it.
That's a race. That's a
Yeah,
racial term. What are you
I
doing,
completely 100% disavow the use of that word.
All
Clyde?
right.
Can you strike that from the
What's
record?
Clyde?
Craig, whatever his name is, the record bot,
Yeah,
please.
you
Do you have an editor, a racism editor?
yeah, you can't say that.
All right, let's politically correct Tom. What is that racist against?
People from East Asia.
All right. See, we're learning something here, everybody.
I was actually having a conversation, and I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I was having a conversation with Dave Matthews the other day.
You talking about Star Wars again?
And
No, I was talking about how I think people who use that word, most people don't know where it comes from, and they just use it to mean like dull or stupid. And he's like, how could people not know what that word means? Like part of it is inside the word. And I was like, I can assure you, there are people who use it and they don't know where.
There are Mongolians. I know what a Mongolian is.
Well, that's part of where it comes from.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like it literally goes to like skull-shaped science, Tom. So
Oh, my favorite science.
you do know some science. That's great. Go back to unfarted. Go back to your wheelhouse with the.
yeah,
Neil Druckmann says they're done with Uncharted games. They're not going to make any more.
good.
So, you know what that means? Exciting new IPs from the house of Crash Bandicoot.
Well, maybe we will get something cool. Honestly, like
No, we're gonna get another 17 Last of Us games.
That's
okay,
a
well,
fall of the
maybe.
House of Usher right there.
It's already slated to be a number 3 in the works. So, you know,
Yeah, well,
there's a TV show on right now if you haven't heard.
yeah, fuck me for being hopeful, I guess.
Soul's trying to get me canceled. She wants me to say the word again.
Don't say the word again.
Yeah,
All I'll say is that there's a Devo song titled this word.
I mean, there's a lot of
You-
songs from the 80s we can't sing anymore.
Yeah.
Times are simpler back then.
Yeah, like Tom's favorite song, "Putting on the Ritz" by Taco. There's a lot of
I do like
blackface.
that song.
There's a lot of blackface in that music video.
I don't watch the videos. I just listen to the music.
The videos are half the fun in 1980s new wave.
Oh yeah, Tainted Love, man. Go watch that video. Tell me it's not creepy as fuck.
There's 3 different videos, Tom. One of them with the little girl is
the,
very creepy.
the creepy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, a lot of people have covered that song, so
I mean, it's a cover originally.
Which one? Put on the Ritz or?
Both of
what
those.
do you mean it's a cover originally? Like the original song is not a cover. Who did the original?
Aretha Franklin? One of those.
A soul singer. I don't think it's Aretha Franklin though.
It's one of them.
I think
don't
her
know
name
if
has a G in it, and I'm not going to be able to.
Tom, I don't know if you can say that like that either. Anyway, whatever. That's not the point.
Soul music from the 70s? What do you want from me? Stop outing me, motherfucker. I'm gonna ban you from this fucking site. I'm releasing all your Pokemon. Which Pokemon do you like in that run? Because I want to fucking kill him.
It's not how you react when you learn to be better, Tom. You don't kill Pokemon.
I'm Team Rocket in training.
Team Rocket doesn't do what you do.
Jeez,
They were
Louise.
slaughtering those Slowpokes.
No, they weren't. They were just cutting off their tails.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Just cutting off
no
the
more
tail.
Uncharted
This-
games.
These people cut off all these puppy dog tails. Ah, it's fine. It's just the tails. Let them be.
I'm not defending Team Rocket. I'm just clarifying what they were doing.
I'm sure if it benefited them, they would consider genocide of a Pokemon.
Speaking for a game that's got remarkably dogpiled for like weird racist reasons, Forspoken, critic consensus came out. It's real average. It's maybe a little below average.
I do want to talk about that during the what I've been playing because it's very annoying.
We'll go into that. There are a lot of people. I've watched you play briefly. I've watched other gameplay videos, and it did seem kind. I agree with like it looks kind of empty, and I really hate a character who won't stop talking. But some of the reviews I read on Steam were just like Birth of a Nation level racists.
Cory has never in his life played a JRPG.
I have played many a JRPG.
This talking in this game is no worse than any other JRPG. It's actually better in this game because they kind of sound like actual people, as opposed to like Oni-chan motherfuckers.
No, they don't sound like people, Tom. They sound like the characters from the new Saints Row. They say shit bananas. I'm not okay with this.
Yeah, that's
shit
more
bananas?
grounded into actual conversation.
I
as
have
opposed to,
I have
like,
never.
a Tales game where everybody talks in stupid anime talk.
Well, it's different than a Tales game.
You think you noticed that I did that?
The opening
Yeah,
is almost
fuck
two.
that shit.
The opening is almost 2 hours long.
It's not that long.
It's,
I was doing open world.
What
stuff
do you
for
mean?
about
I
10 an
watched
hour.
you play it.
Yeah, I was in the opening. I got to the fucking big dragon fight, and after that dragon fight, you go into a town. I mean, it's not that bad. And that was the first hour. First hour with me having technical difficulties playing it. So I don't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. What are you talking
Tom,
about?
how much did Square Enix pay you?
Nothing. They
You-
should pay me.
You know what? I'm gonna say this
They
right now.
fucking should.
It's real sus, and I'll be using the language you think is okay. It's real sus that you're dressed up like a friggin' Square Enix character right now.
Just give you. I'm being outed.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Hello, fellow kids.
Mr. Square Enix over here.
Yeah.
Anyways, critic consensus for Forspoken just says it's fine at best. I mean, a lot of people have complaints with it. There was a whole kerfuffle with its trailer using cherry-picked and bogus review words. People's like reviews.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
People's like the words like impressive, and it would be cut off from like, the movement is impressive, but and it was just like brilliant way to like trim different
So these people are completely unaware of magazines for the last 30, 40 years.
different pull
Yeah.
quotes. Yeah, but like when you
Remember the infamous Bubsy 3D pull quote that was from a preview
what was
of
it?
the game? It was Bubsy wants to again claws his way to the top of the yarn ball or something like that. It was just some fucking throwaway line from a fucking preview session at like a E3 or something, and they used it on the package. It's been going on for a long time. This is not new.
I mean, that's fair, but they also used like just lies. They quoted some magazines.
4.5 stars. Some Facebook user.
I mean, they quoted one, I think Game Informer or Gamer Rant or some like site, and they didn't actually say anything about the game. It was pulled from them talking about what another site had said. You can't do that. You can't say
I think you can keep the daisy chain going.
you can't make a like these people said this about us and they're just quoting someone else. That's not right. That's
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
Did those
agree, that's
words
not...
show up on the webpage from Game Rant? Were those words on the screen because that is eligible to be used?
Tom. How much did they
Yo.
pay you to wear that skin?
I couldn't find Ash from Final Fantasy 12, so I just took Lightning.
Look, I watched you play the beginning of that game, and to me, it looked like the reviews are saying perfectly okay.
What do you mean? The
Like,
reviews said
we
they were
were just-
impressive. We saw the
No,
trailer.
like the actual reviews, and like we were saying when we were just now talking about fucking Outer Worlds or whatever, like when you say that a game is just okay, that can be just as bad as or worse than saying it's bad. You know what I mean? And I think that this game has got the same problem of it's just played it.
think-
I've watched Tom play a little of it.
I think the gerbil is a robot.
Yeah, he started a robot, but also as he spoke, he got slowly lower and lower. I need you to speak into your microphone at a clear and consistent level.
He's also staring.
I
into the
didn't
camera. It's
jostle
freaking
my
me out.
mouse and my computer tried to go to sleep on me.
Your computer just goes to sleep.
Actually, that
I
happened a lot
guess.
when we did the non-VR sessions of this podcast. That happened to me all the time.
I didn't have the VR pulled up front because you don't like it when I move my big schnoz too much.
I mean,
Anyway, yeah, dude, Forspoken's mediocre, and I think that's a problem for it.
especially
because
when
it's
it
worse
looks
than being
really
bad.
expensive too. It looked like an expensive to make game.
Yeah, it looks like an expensive
Oh,
mediocre
yeah,
experience.
yeah. It's by the guys who made Final Fantasy 15, so yeah, there's a lot of detail in the world.
That's another game. That
Like, yeah,
people
no, it's visually
hate.
very impressive, but it's just like an empty world. It's from what it's like, yeah, like you were saying, Corey. From what I watched, Tom, it just seemed like kind of plain and just.
I just
meh.
don't understand how you pull a conclusion out of watching the intro for hour of the game.
That just
I know,
seems.
I'd like to see more. I'd like to
didn't
see
do
more.
anything.
I hope it's better. I hope it's better.
That's a
than this.
problem though. I feel like you should have a good opening to a game.
It's a
Yeah,
JRPG.
your first hour should really.
Stop using that as an excuse. The JRPGs are wrong.
They don't do that. That's not what happens in these games.
Then they're.
I mean, I get that, but I mean, at least Final Fantasy X within the first hour, like there's the monster attack. There's like a plot hook, right? Like
There's a plot hook.
I
You
didn't.
get sucked into fucking Suck World, and you get to fight a giant ass dragon. That's something.
Yeah, but I feel like it took a long time for that to happen, and by the time it did, I
Took a
was
half
already-
hour.
Yeah.
Tom,
What are
you
okay,
talking
I
about?
understand you're this game's biggest defender, but some people would say you can't just use the hand wavy excuse of it's an RPG.
It's a JRPG. That's what the games are. You don't go into the genre saying, "Oh, this is what they do." That's what they do. It's like
That's
any of
just
your
it, Tom.
fucking
Is
Paradox
it's just
games.
like it's just every JRPG. It doesn't feel like any. There's nothing that it doesn't stand out.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't make it a good game just because it's a JRPG.
Just yeah, it's and like I'm not saying
not
it's
saying
bad.
it's good or bad.
fine,
I'm saying you can't complain about things that are just standard with the genre.
Yes, you can. You
But
could
that's just
absolutely.
it. All it is
you
a
get
genre
another
standard,
fucking-
but it's a $70 genre standard, and that seems
N14
like a
is called
big ass.
What's Call of Duty? Give me
Okay,
M14s. What the
I need
fuck?
you all to speak one at a time. Tom, to stop doing voices and to stop bottoming out all your goddamn audio. I'm watching the meters.
What is up with this? What's up with this pistol? Why is there a pistol in this Call of Duty game? That's so fucking
People-
weird.
It's
okay,
fine.
give me a
I
fucking
don't,
laser
gun,
I don't
bro.
like Call of Duty either.
First of all, we have never defended Call of Duty, and second of all, people
Yeah,
complain all the
straw
fucking
man.
time. All the
I'm not
fucking time
saying-
about it being
Pick your
standard.
battle.
I do battle
Bro,
with Call of Duty all the time. What are you talking about?
I'm not defending Call of Duty, you fucking moron.
Apparently you think it's just standard.
Right.
Look,
I'm saying you
look.
go into something and you're complaining about something that just goes with it. You go to McDonald's, oh, they still have hamburgers here? What the fuck?
No, it's that they sell.
That just goes with the fucking McDonald's, bro.
Oh my god, calm
you talking
down.
about?
No,
Calm
it's that
down.
a new store opened up next to McDonald's, and they're supposed to do hamburgers, and they're supposed to be expensive and new and cool, and they're just the same.
Nobody claimed anything like that.
Bro, when
Nobody's
you
ever
slap a
claimed that
$70 price tag, and then
That's
and
what
then-
games cost now. That's what the going price of video games. What are you talking about?
Not rogue
This
legacy.
is the standard price.
Can you all breathe, says Soul. I agree, because one, you're deafening me. Calm down. Tom yelling.
$70 is the price of video games now. That is what a video game costs. You can't say, oh, it's $70, I'm expecting more. That every game that comes out on the PS5 now is a fucking $70 video game.
And I'm saying that's not worth the price if it's just mediocre.
I agree with you. I'm not saying otherwise. I'm just saying
Well,
you can't
that's all
say
we're saying.
the
is
game's
that
$70 because the games are $70 now. I don't think any
mediocre.
game's worth $70.
Poor Soul is probably curled up into a ball because of Tom's yelling.
I'm just saying. Your arguments suck, is what I'm saying. You gotta pick a logical way of going about complaining about a video game other than the first hour looked kind of boring and it's $70. Because
no.
that is what games are.
I never said kind of boring. The first hour looked incredibly annoying. It looked like the most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. It looked the same as...
annoying.
Okay, you remember how I said, oh, that game with the fucking Justin Roiland's gun game looked really annoying?
That's really annoying. That's the whole shtick of the Roiland shit is to be annoying. That's what his
I
thing
do
is.
not like characters that don't stop talking. I hate it. I won't play the fucking game. It's very simple.
See, you keep making that claim about people that not talking. They don't ever not stop talking. It's just standard JRPG conversation. It's just between two characters. It's very much like I said. It's like Shadow of the Damned is the exact same dynamic, and that's a Resident Evil 4 knockoff, where it's just quips and the gun and the guy talking to each other. It's the same dynamic.
All right, that's fine. I haven't played Shadow of the Damned.
That thing? Yeah, I'm saying that's just what it is. It's not any different. It's not excessive talking. Like the Roiland game is excessive talking, but that's the game. Like that is the draw of that game. This is just JRPG talk. The only fault with it is it's like weird New York accents, 20-year-old talking. So you get all that cringe factor.
Soul wants us to move on to the next news topic. I agree. This has gotten shit bananas.
Okay, jumping ahead, I have played Forspoken, and I have read these reviews, and they're all fucking bad. The game is perfectly average. It's not fantastic. I'm very early in the game still. The combat, kind of bland. I'm doing the same attack over and over, but there is a big wheel, and I'm hoping it does expand and give me more things to do. Because it's not bad. It's very fluid. You can move around, do a lot of things, fire your little rockets and stuff. I just want more to that aspect of the game. That's what I want. But when people are just dunking on it, saying they don't stop talking, or it's this character in this world, and all these things that do not fucking matter.
What about
it? You're not playing the game.
What about it being incredibly empty?
It's an open. I mean, it's a big. The whole point of the game, the story of the game, if you want to get into the story, is that there is a town, there is a center city, and everything around the world is like it's covered in like miasma. So people can't go in there or they die and they turn to zombies or some shit. So it's a lot like fucking Elden Ring. It feels a lot like Elden Ring. It looks a lot like Elden Ring. It has the same kind of feel. But the people don't say Elden Ring is empty. There is nothing to fucking do in Elden Ring.
There's actually tons of
It's
stuff.
it's an empty, dead world, and it's the same fucking thing. Elden Ring has like you have caverns and stuff. I've done plenty of things that have these. I mean, I found like maybe 4 or 5 places of interest, and it's either like you find a church you go into, and then that's a save zone, and then over there'll be a little tiny village that's been run over, and it's full of monsters. You get the monsters, you open a chest, and then there's like kind of like the Breath of the Wild thing, where there's these little shrine things, and you go down the shrine, and you do like a gauntlet battle or a puzzle thing or something. So there's stuff to the world. It's not any more or less empty than your Breath of the Wild or your Elden Ring.
But okay, but
There's still stuff there, but the world is empty in the fact that there's not like a bustling city and stuff,
but
and and you venture to.
But the reviews I've read, Tom, and before you come in and just start saying "shut up, you're wrong," the reviews I've read said that's made more noticeable by the fact you can fast travel with like crazy like parkour jumping magic shoes, and that makes it feel weirdly empty because you're going super fast.
That's a weird complaint.
Well, yeah, but you're not going super fast in Elden Ring. It's a really slow trudging battle. You're not going super fast in Red Dead. You don't go that fast on the fucking horse.
You go faster. I mean, I don't understand what the complaint is.
Well,
you still travel fast through an open world that's pretty empty.
Yeah, but it feels incredibly empty with like a really fast movement ability.
What do they want though? Like, what is the solution to that?
I don't know. I didn't design the game. You can put in more things of interest. You can put in more combat. You can put in.
You know what the solution for this is? Thomas got to play more Forspoken. We got to see more of this game.
Play the rest of the game.
I'd love to play more of it.
Play more of the game, and we'll talk about it more later after you've played some more of it.
I'm just saying. I've been looking at these like Steam reviews that are just like fucking dogpiling this game. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
like,
I do feel like that. I feel like hate is probably unwarranted.
Exactly.
Like I said, the game. There's nothing wrong with the game being just fine, but you shouldn't hate on a game for just being fine.
I want it to be fine. Like I want it to be that 75 thing that kind of just goes away, and people said, "Oh, remember that game that came out eventually, like whatever ago." But people are just like picking on this game. I do not understand why this game is getting so
Well,
much
as
hate.
I mentioned,
I
some
do
of
not
it was
understand it.
racism, and some of it was
Yeah,
too
some of
political.
it is
Racism.
racism because the main character is a woman of color.
So it's just shitty people online.
Well, yeah, but
I
it's also
mean,
real game reviewers. Actual game reviewers have complaints with like actual game mechanics and things. I mean, a
I
lot.
like the main character. I have no problem with the main character. I like her.
I mean, I'd be fine with that if she stopped talking as much.
I mean,
well, you know,
it's just a game. She doesn't have fucking monologues with herself. They'll like kill a monster. Like that was awesome, and he was like, "Yeah, I helped," and that's what the conversation is.
I know, but that's annoying when it happens all the time because it will happen every time you fight someone.
No, it did seem like when you're in your fight with the dragon, every time you got hit, he was like, "Oh, that looks like it hurt," or "You suck." Like every time you got hit, he said something, and that
There
was a
were some
little
repeat lines
aggravating.
were in that. I did notice that. Yes.
Yeah, and it was like every time you got hit, which you didn't get hit a lot. You got hit like maybe 4 or 5 times in the
Which,
whole
let me
match.
interject here before
But
Tom starts throwing out more horrible, hurtful things towards us. But according to Kotaku, you can make them talk less. There's a setting in the menu to turn down.
oh, yo, that is goated. If that's legit, this game just got an extra point for me. Features like that are amazing.
It's the same thing that happened with Horizon, where people said LA. Not only would she talk, but she would. I hear God of War had this problem too, where it would actively solve the puzzle for you when you're trying to solve a puzzle. Like she
Yeah,
would say
yeah.
things like, "Oh, I should go climb that rock to the left over there," and people got mad about that because they were actively ruining the game for them.
I mean, yeah, that's. I want to pretend I am a Viking god. I need to be immersed in that world. I want to be.
Yeah, the you could be sitting there trying to figure out the puzzle for like 15-20 seconds and it would just like, "Oh, you should move this rock over here, dad." You know.
That's just more in the
All
line
right,
of Sony
all
doesn't
right.
want
We're
to
gonna
make video
stop for a
games.
second here. We're gonna keep moving because poor soul is crying because of you. We're gonna move on to Overwatch. It's just to a bit of lighter talk. Overwatch 2 Sexual Harassment Simulator mode has made a brief return.
I don't like your humor on this. This is a
Yeah, I've
serious
never heard of it.
discussion.
What do you mean Overwatch to sexual harassment simulator?
Tom talked
There
about it
was a
before. Yeah, this is it.
yeah. You were on that episode. I'm almost positive it was when they
I'm a
had
sleepy
modes.
guy. I forget
Oh my
things.
god.
There was fan-made modes, like you can make custom matches in that game, and the whole point, I think, you were McCree and you're trying to make Mercy pregnant or something. It was something incredibly juvenile and stupid, but
No, I
it
don't
was
remember
there,
this.
and Blizzard never took it down. It was like never moderated, and people were like, why is this still a thing that's on here, and why is it like in the top 10 games? And I guess they did something about it, and it came back. The last I heard was that it existed. I didn't know there was anything taken
But that was from
against it.
Overwatch 1. I think they brought it back into Overwatch 2 and now I think
I don't
they
I
took
don't think Blizzard cares about Overwatch 2. I think they just shout it out and say, yeah, deal with it.
yeah, I mean there's been a lot of haranguing about I haven't played the fucking game. I assume it's one of the greatest games of all time. But yeah, like I guess it came back this mod and they took it down very recently because of player complaints.
Yeah, no, they should
Justified.
take it down. That's dumb. Keep it to yourself in your own fucking porn server or whatever, you fucking weirdo. Keep it off
Yeah.
the main game.
Well, it's not really on the main game. It's a mod that people have to seek out, right? A game mode.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
don't try to make Mercy pregnant. I'm gonna say right now, stop that.
Yeah, I mean, just stop being weird.
But if you
internet.
do it, I hope like McCree says it's high noon when he does it, because that'd be pretty.
It's high. No, that's what he says when he gets an erection, right?
Yeah.
He's pointing straight up like.
Guys, you're
high
making me
noon.
uncomfortable. Let's move to the next topic.
All right. What's the next target?
Avengers disassemble.
Yeah, go ahead. Avengers Disassemble, Tom. You put this on.
Square Enix. Is it still Square Enix? I don't know who
Crystal
actually.
Dynamics.
Crystal
presenting
Dynamics made the
support to
game, but it was
Marvel's
published.
Avengers.
Yeah, so I guess Crystal Dynamics is officially in charge of it then. Yeah, they're ending the support for the game, and they gave away all of the skins for free as a going away present. Like they're releasing one big patch, and they say after like September, October of the year, they're not gonna do any more support for it. And if anything happens after that date, they don't know. If it goes offline, you can't log in anymore. I don't know. Without
Do
ever
you have
control.
to be logged in to play the fucking game?
Probably.
It is a live service game, so you'd imagine, but it is incredibly easy to make that game an offline game. It's just if they have that, that failsafe already installed in it or not, I do not know.
I got
But
this game for free when I got a graphics card, and I never played it.
it's not very good. It was
Yeah,
it was good. Like I think we talked about it earlier this episode, but it was good up until the point where it becomes an open world game, and then it becomes like the most fucking obvious forced live service game I've ever seen. Like it just became unfun all of a sudden. It was maddening. Like you could do this part, you play as Kamala Khan, you go through like New York, and then you end up in like the old Avengers base. And then once you leave that base, you're like in this like snowy field, and you can just see it like open up, and there's nothing at all in the fucking world, and it's just like the same like copy and paste little robot enemies, and fighting them isn't fun. It's like nothing was good about it. So that's when I just stopped playing it. It's like I can't deal with this.
Give me 1 second. You guys keep talking about it.
So Avengers is a game that has it has not the movie Avengers, but very very cheap like Chinese dollar store knockoffs.
movie Avengers at home.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I'm
got
not gonna
Kamala
take you out
Khan
to it.
though. She has big hand, right? She got
Oh, I
big
like
hand
Kamala Khan.
disease.
She's definitely one of the better newer Marvel characters.
I
for
don't
sure.
understand what her power set is. Is she like rubber or what?
Yeah, she's like stretchy. You can like engulf herself
Okay.
and make her like a fist all big and.
Okay, so it's not like she's stretchy. It's not like growth.
Oh, I
Those are
think
like,
it's growth too. I think she's just gonna like expand herself into whatever way she wants. Really,
I guess that's pretty cool.
creates that mass.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty useful power set to have.
Yeah, but when you're like when the game was like kind of constricted, more like focused on like a designed level set, and you were playing as her, it was actually pretty fun. It wasn't great, it wasn't amazing in any way, but it was decently fun. And then and then it became a fuck. It's like when Brutal Legend became the RTS. Like, what the fuck happened? What is this? Why is this the game? And then you see Square Enix like wringing their hands, like, yes, we're to sell so many skins. Yeah. Yeah, I got everybody to fight these 4 robots over and over again as their Spider-Man.
Video game companies.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm happy Crystal Dynamics is no longer with Square. I think they can actually do some good. Even though that
yeah,
new Tomb
I've,
Raider
I've
game is being co-published with Amazon, it's weird. It's all weird. There's also a Tomb Raider show coming out apparently.
yeah, that's probably why they're doing. I was just about to say there's probably going to be a show coming. Honestly though, like I'm glad to see support end for Marvel's Avengers. It means they're going to be doing bigger and better things, hopefully. Like a Legacy of Kain reboot.
No, it's Gex. It's all about Gex.
What is with the Gex meme? I don't get it. Where did Gex come from? It's like Bubsy. It just comes out of nowhere and people just like
Tom, just because
regurgitate
a
it
game,
online.
just because a game is average doesn't mean it really can't strike a chord.
I would call
Can
Gex
you guys
actively bad.
Can you guys please imagine a world in which a Gex game exists where he's like making jokes about like Elon Musk and like
That sounds dreadful. That sounds literally dreadful.
All right,
yeah,
you know what?
dude.
You know what? No. I'm with Ceurvels. I want this.
All right.
Like we already live in the nightmare world. We might as well go full nightmare, Corey. Come on.
How about a Gex Bubsy co-op game?
Oh God. Yeah, yeah.
Throw
Just make the
Croc
worst
in there
game
too.
possible. Fuck it, we ball.
Adding Croc and Aqua the Acrobat.
Can we add the
As
guy
Arrow
from
the
Medieval?
We have to
Daniel?
include
Yeah.
that one Sonic group with the Chaotix with the
Oh
bee.
yeah, the alligator and the and the other guy.
The alligator, the bee, and the other two. I don't know. The
What
one
about
that's
Buck Bumble?
not Knuckles.
Can we get Buck Bumble too?
Buzz Bumble or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Let's-
Buck Bumble.
We should get
Buck
all
Bumble,
of
is
the
it? Buck
rejected
Bumble?
'90s mascot added
Into
to
a one
Oh,
game.
dude, how about all the rejected '90s mascots in like a Smash Bros. Game?
Yeah, like that new game that just came out that has all like the indie characters in it. Just do that
Yeah.
for all like the '90s mascot characters.
Yeah.
That probably won't
That'd
be
be a
hard to
lot
get
of
that rights
fun.
of them either. It's like,
You
yeah,
get like Clay 3D Fighter, you know.
yeah, we want to keep Zool the nth dimension ninja.
Dude, think of you can put Jack and Daxter in there, like. Well, he's
There were some
2000s
rumors
now.
of a new Jack and Daxter game kind of in the works because of the, I guess a movie sold, like the rights to the movie was sold and it became in production or something. So there's a rumor mill that they're bringing back Jack and Daxter. I've only played the first game and it was fine. It felt like a Crash Bandicoot sequel.
Yeah, it's less good than Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I didn't play Ratchet and Clank until
What?
after Jack. Yeah, the first time I played Ratchet and Clank was on the PS4 remake of the first game, and I went back and played the PS3 games, and then I got the new one on the PS5. I never played Ratchet and Clank on the PS2.
Oh, the OG Ratchet and Clanks were great, man.
Yeah, I hear the best ones are the first three. And
Yeah,
apparently
they're
the remake
really
is
good.
bad. I really like the remake. I don't know. It's really hard to get fan consensus on these things. So people start talking about Sonic games and how they're good, and I just lose interest.
Yeah. We should play Ratchet and Clank on the stream. I guess that would be a retro play, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
retro is anything 3
PS2.
generations or older.
Yeah.
2 generations. Anything before the PS4, Xbox One is considered retro in my book.
Yeah, then Ratchet and Clank is retro.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm a sleepy guy. What have we been playing this week, Tom?
Are we done with news?
Yeah, I don't think there's any
doing
else
the waifu
news.
ranking that Cory was doing?
Oh yeah, we're doing that.
Oh
Do you
well,
have,
you said just keep going. You were doing something, and I never
I
heard you
came
say you were
back.
back.
You heard me say things. I use words. I'm
Do
sorry
we
you're
have
such a
Never
sleepy
came
guy.
back. Dude,
Do
I'm
we have a
just a
set
sleepy
number of
guy.
waifus?
I'm gonna go through the list. We're doing this quick, and then we'll add our fucking waifus on top, because that's what we do when we're dweebs on the internet with VR headsets on. All right, you ready for
I don't
this?
I don't like this list.
I don't agree with anything on this list. Also, you
I
can
don't
tell me
like
if
it.
you know them, because I don't know half these fucking characters. So, Rebecca Chambers.
Resident Evil 0
Yes.
/ Resident Evil 1.
I should mention that this waifu list comes from Fandom Spot. Top 25 video game waifus of all time ranked.
Based on who? Their own opinions or like an online survey they took?
I don't know.
I don't think they give
Doesn't really
evidence.
say.
So, anyways, Rebecca Chambers, Resident Evil 0. She's cute as a button and knows how to handle a gun. There's a bunch of other shit they wrote. I'm not.
If we could see her take wing.
Rebecca Chambers is 100% little sister vibe. There's no
Yeah, she looks
waifu
like a
vibe to her.
child.
She absolutely looks like a child from this picture they have of her. So we're gonna skip
She's
that.
like legitimately like 17 years old or something in that game.
Number 24, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite.
Yes.
I used Elizabeth from the Bioshock DLC, which I agree is the better Elizabeth, and that one I can kind of agree with, but not the one from Infinite.
I've never played the game. Like I played like the first 5 minutes and gave up.
Spoilers
she's
on
cute.
a 10-year-old game, but that is the main character's daughter.
Yeah, well, she's cute.
Which only makes the waifu-ness hotter for some weirdos. Number 23, Chun-Li.
Love Chun-Li.
I don't see waifu material in Chun-Li. I think she's a
Thighs.
respectable rival, kind of. Yeah.
No, she has
She'll murder
thighs
you
that
with
I
them,
would
though.
like to end in my existence.
Yeah, she will murder your ass. She's
That's a weird,
not like.
Yeah,
weird thing to say.
I would like her to kill me. I would like to die.
You know what?
She's also a cop.
You know what? I agree. I too would like her to kill many people. So we're gonna go to number 22 now.
Also, Chun-Li has a really good magic card.
Cindy Oram.
That's Final Fantasy 15.
Oh my God, her tits are out.
Yeah,
she just wears.
How is she in a Final Fantasy game? She's just like a photographer. I thought she was like April O'Neil.
She's
Like,
the
how is
mechanic.
this a Final
She's the
Fantasy
mechanic.
character?
She's Sid's daughter, granddaughter, something, right?
Granddaughter.
She looks like a normal ass person.
Yeah. Have you played Final Fantasy 15?
No, dude, what happened to Final Fantasy? I remember when they were like actual fantasy games. What is going on?
There's fantasy.
Well, they've been blurring the genre since like the 4th game.
You have to push your car down the road. Anyways, she needs to put some clothes on if she's a mechanic. There's gonna be a lot of like scraping happening with her midriff and boobs just hanging everywhere. Naui from Fire Emblem Awakening, 21.
Oh no, that is legitimately. Oh, she's actually a 4,000-year-old dragon. That is like the meme. She is legitimately a little girl.
Oh, it mentions it here. She may look young, but this dragon girl is definitely older than you. In fact, she's over 1,000. Oh God, that's creepy.
Yeah, it is legitimately that.
All
meme.
right, I don't want to look at this list anymore.
We're gonna keep
That
going.
Really, no, because the next one's the same fucking. I'm done with this list, dude.
I'm agreeing with him. I want to inject our own waifus into a list, and I actually don't want to be ranking women either.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Yeah, no,
I wanna go
ranking
back to
women. This
video
is
games.
weird and gross, and has been from the beginning. And I think I'm done with this.
Okay, then rank your own waifus. Who's your video game crush? Go.
I
I'm not
like Dusa from Hades. She's adorable. She's fun.
That's your
I don't agree
waifu?
with that at all.
I'm-
Yeah, I don't like
No,
That's
that
I
at
just
all.
like her.
disgusting. That's disgust. You're gross.
No, I don't fucking have like a waifu. I just like Dusa. I think she's fun.
She's a child.
Dusa?
Oh yeah, she totally gives off like little girl shy energy. It's creepy.
She is Senpai didn't notice me. The meme.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
That's ooh.
Yeah, man.
I,
That's fine.
I said she was not like my waifu. She's just like my favorite character in the game.
That's like saying Ellie from Last of Us be like, no, Last of Us 2, not the first one. That's weird.
I haven't played Last of Us either.
Well,
I'm just giving an
don't say that
example
as the
here.
answer.
My real answer is it's Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Origins. Come on, not Origins, but
Oh yeah, see,
I don't have a
I
waifu.
agree with that. That's a strong woman. She's kind of a dick. She has a cool accent, and
Yeah.
she can climb on dick. I mean, gigantic statue ones, but still. That's a good answer.
she knows how to mount, is what he's saying.
Plus, she kills people and just has no care. Isn't afraid of no one.
Respectable.
I'm gonna say Raziel, but before he turns into like a skeleton.
Yeah, like Hot Raziel.
Is after off the table?
I'm gonna say yes.
What if he's still
Okay.
down there?
Spoilers for like the last game, but like, what about after he becomes a sword?
Pre-sword after beginning of Soul Reaper.
No.
Yeah.
Before he's cast into the pit of cowards. Or
Okay,
whatever.
but what about after he's been cast in and becomes the sword?
No, when he looks like David Bowie at the beginning cutscene. That's the
yeah,
Raziel.
when he's hot. Yeah.
You could just say David Bowie from Nomad Soul.
Yeah, he's not hot in that though. He's like a weird alien with David Bowie's face. Plus, this is David.
He's just David Bowie.
That's a David Cage game. I'm not okay with that.
What are you trying to insinuate there? That,
Also,
Bowie was assaulted by David Cage?
15-year-old Cory wants to say Riku, from Kingdom Hearts.
Which one?
From Kingdom Hearts, you know.
Okay. Yeah, he has a. What do you call those?
Maybe Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah.
Like, what are those? Like the Japanese idol boys?
He's got Bishonen energy.
Yeah, he got that thing
I'm
going.
not big into like, oh my god, I've got such a huge crush on this video game girl.
Oh, I'm with you.
I can't really think of any.
No, I mean you're picking like a wife or husband do material.
Husbando.
I don't want a husband or wife.
All
I
right.
would like to be left alone.
Okay.
I want a flying fucking Medusa head to clean my room.
I want a friendly little Medusa maid.
You know she's a
who's very
slave,
polite.
right?
It's her job. She does it happily.
Okay.
It is her job. She is
Uncle
employed
Tom over
there.
here.
She does quit at one point in the story. She stops working around the house.
There are
She's
much
coming
better
back.
like, relationship material in Hades. You got Death.
I like the dynamic between them. I think it's funny.
Meg's a great fun right.
Okay, yeah, like their romantic thing with Meg is fine, but like I don't fucking romanticize video game characters.
I mean but part of the game is a romantic relationship. This is where we're going with you as the main.
I just give them the stuff to get the buffs, man. I like the buffs.
Okay, but like part of the storyline is fixing a relationship with one of these characters. Like
Yeah, you can. What do you mean you get a relationship with all of them?
I know, but like I guess there is a threesome outcome in that game, isn't there?
Yes, you can bang
Thanatos.
I think it's Achilles.
You can get Thanatos
No,
and Meg.
I thought it was. Is it Thanatos?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
First of all, I'm not okay with that. Just because, even though that's a cute relationship, that's like your brother. Like,
is he? That's weird.
He's not
Yeah,
related
that's
to you, but
really
he's like your
weird.
stepbrother. I'm not a. That's a weird. I guess it's Greek,
Help, stepbrother! I'm stuck in Tartarus.
Anyways,
stepbrother.
Hades actually has some pretty good relationship, like mini game thing to it, with some fleshed out, fully realized. They're not just like waifus to be won at the end. It's not like Persona where they have almost no real personality to them.
I gotta be honest with you. I only really remember Zagreus and the dad in Hades.
His name is Hades. The
Yeah,
dad's name is Hades.
I remember like those two characters, and that's about it. And the stupid flying Medusa head because Ceurvels was weirdly obsessed with it, and I was like, I hate this character.
I
Like, the
really
bottom
did.
of my heart.
I did not like that character at all.
I hate this character so much.
I mean, the only character I hated more was Orpheus.
Which one was Orpheus?
He's the guy that looks like Robert Smith from The Cure, who you save from. He's complaining that his like girlfriend's stuck in the lower level of hell,
And she is.
and she is, and he's just like, I don't want to play music anymore. And you're like,
Okay,
he's
the music
playing
guy,
music.
yeah.
and you're like, hey mate, maybe you can play a little music, cheer up a little fucking bit.
Tortured soul, Cory. Tortured soul.
Whatever. Are we done deliberating?
Yeah, apparently.
What have we been playing this week?
Who's gonna go first?
You should, Tom.
So, guys, I've been playing this game called Forspoken.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Did we?
Do you need to talk
Yes,
more about it?
Yeah.
I think I said what I need to say. I played 4 or 5 hours of the game, and I'm having a good time with it. It is perfectly average. I don't have any negatives about it at all, except I haven't expanded my magic attack. Like, if I go through that entire game and that's the only attacks I get is that fucking 3-hit combo with that little beam, yeah, okay, I'm gonna complain about some shit. But
I mean,
as of right now,
you can hold it down too, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done the thon.
He wants more different combos.
I mean, there's other
Yeah,
spells.
yeah.
You know, there's a stop people from moving spell.
Yeah, I got that spell, and it's a lot of things are immune to it, so it's kind of useless.
Did you
And
get the turret spell?
I might have unlocked that, but I didn't switch any of my spells over yet. So I hope there's a good sleuth of combinations I can do some, get some stuff going on with it. There's the shoot, hold down, right click, and both left and right click together. Those are like the 4 avenues you can work on. There is a skill tree, and there are like other things you can do. You just need to collect like soul points or magic points or some shit, and then once you get those, it's kind of like job points. You throw them into a thing, unlock it. You can upgrade some stuff like that. The one you hold down, I upgraded to level 2. Yeah.
What else you been playing, Tom?
Oh, you wanna kind of going along with my previous rage and our weird waifu discussion.
Okay.
There is this series I have loathed for going on 15 years now. I believe it's an old series. It's called Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Oh, you won't stop talking about the series you hate so much.
I pretty much wrote it off and ignored it completely because that first game is it's like Funko Pop the game, where it's soulless and it's just weird and oddly offensive in its weird way. Where I guess the core concept is that they're all like representations of like video game consoles, and they all serve their video game console god, and they're all like little anime girls, but they have like the giantest titties. It's fucking weird, and I don't like it. And it's worrisome in many levels, and the game was also just bad. It was like a turn-based tactical strategy game, kind of. But the new one just came out.
Turn-based tentacle strategy for a second.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. I didn't play much of it, but I mean, if that's in there, yeah, I would, don't doubt it. So, but the new one looked like an action RPG, so I'm like, all right, I'll give this one a shot and see if it's better or not. There's also a crossover between this and that weird ninja titty game that Cory likes, Senguren Kakuro, that one's called.
Ninja
I didn't play that one either.
What a phenomenal game, that Ninja Titty game. That's a game that is literally disgusting.
There's a tie-in Neptunia Sakurin Gagura game.
Although I will say
you can buy it.
The gameplay is actually pretty alright. It's like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. So I got this game, the newest one, Sister versus Sister, I think it's called.
Oh
And
God, of course it is.
You can't skip the dialogue scenes. You can just thumb through them. Like you can skip the dialogue and you go to the next scene, like the next set of text. But you can't just hit start and go to the next part of gameplay. So you have to sit there, see him talk for fucking 45 minutes, even though you're skipping all the dialogue. And the actual core gameplay, I thought it would be like more of like a Dynasty Warriors kind of action RPG kind of thing. We just run through shit and kill it. But no, it's kind of like the closest I can compare it to is Tales of Graces, where you still get into like your little battlefields. And you get action points, but you can still freely move. And as long as you have action points, you can set off a few attacks. But it's not as good as Tales of Graces is. And it has a thing where you have like 3 characters, and you can make combos if you hit the button when you can do it. And like you use your action points, but then you switch to a different character, and those characters have their action points, but while the other one recovers theirs, you can switch between them. But it's Are you guys familiar with anime being like a derogatory term?
Yeah.
You use it all the
What do you
time.
mean? That's the only way I use that term.
It's like that shit is too anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the capital dot on too much anime. Too fucking anime is this game. It's too much. It's all the tropes, all of them. I can't take it. I can't handle this
And
fucking series.
that's amazing
I
because
hate it.
I feel like I've seen you play Samurai Bikini Warriors.
Yeah, I've seen you play some pretty fucking anime games, Tom.
Yeah, you're pretty.
Oh, I
anime.
know. I have a threshold. I can tolerate so much, and I can forgive some things if another aspect is good. But this is just like the needle's too far to the right. It's not even near the center.
That's some pretty high threshold, Tom.
It's like Fire Emblem. I can handle Fire Emblem, even though it has all that stupid like dating mechanic, relationship bullshit that I do not want to do at all. But I like the core gameplay of Fire Emblem. I like the strategy, children soldiers do my bidding kind of thing. And when I get to that part of Fire Emblem, I also play Fire Emblem Engage. When I get to that part, I enjoy the game. It's like, okay, you can also press start and skip almost all of Fire Emblem's story, thank God. And I can just enjoy my actual little soldier game. But you can't do it in this game. You gotta listen to them talk and fucking. It's the titties are too fucking big on these little girls, and he's like, why are there titties on little girls to begin with? Why is this a thing that they like? And why does this game have 18 fucking hundred entries in it? Why is this a thing? I don't understand it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it, guys.
And yet you bought it.
I gave it a chance. I am part of the problem, I suppose.
I mean, I feel like you're criticizing it a lot without giving it a full chance. I want a full playthrough from you, and then
I
report.
played a good amount. I played enough.
And speaking of creepy, why'd you buy that game? You're on a list now.
I made that exact comment. Like, people who buy this game should be on a fucking list. This is wrong. I don't like it.
Just Tom Fitzpatrick's name. I mean, Thomas's name at the top.
I fucking doxed.
Yeah. You can get doxxed by the creators of the game for shit talking on stream.
Fucking Kenji Inafune to show up at my house.
Why do you know the creator's name so quickly?
He's the guy who claims to have created Mega Man, even though he didn't create Mega Man. He just like marketed it and I think helped design like the color scheme of him or something. And then he went off and made that fucking Mighty Number 9. That was a giant fucking grift.
That was
And then he made a weird little pedo style game with anime bullshit.
He was making Neptunia in between all of that. This is post Mega Man, pre and post fucking Mighty Number 9 and Recore and all that other stuff they worked on.
You got any other games you want to talk about that aren't like 20-minute long rants about weirdo shit?
I played a game called Castlevania 2 Remake. It's a fan remake of Castlevania 2 for the NES. It's just a free download you can get. It's like 400 megabytes. It's just an exe you run and you get a game pops up. It plays kind of like a cross between the original Castlevania 2 and Symphony of the Night. The core game is still more or less the same style, but there's a lot of polish and flair and improvements and stuff like that. Only it kind of moves kind of janky. It's totally a free fan game, if you know what I mean. It's not a polished retail game. So it has its merits, but it also has a lot of it's kind of clunky when you try to do platforming and stuff. It has its like drawbacks, and the art style is I guess it's not too far from Castlevania, but it's kind of like has like a weird, edgy, grungy feel to it.
Oh, well, of course, it's from a Castlevania fan.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Eastern European feeling. I don't know who made the game, but if it was from Eastern Europe, it would not surprise me at all. Just has like that kind of like darky grunginess to it that they love putting in their games. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's definitely an interesting thing in that game. It has its faults, so it's nice seeing an improvement. It has a save system, but it also has lives, so you can save it with like 0 lives left, and then die. Then you get a game over, as opposed to just removing the lives altogether and just make it work that way. Strange. So they could decide if they wanted to go new or old, so they just like kept both systems, kind of.
A little weird.
Strange. Yeah, it is weird. Let me just check my Steam list here. I was going to play some Freedom Planet 2, but people said I should play that on stream. Freedom Planet being the series that is pretty much a fan Sonic game that ended up spinning off and making its own, highly polished. That first Freedom Planet was really good if you didn't play story mode. story mode, I do not recommend at all. Fuck that.
I'm sorry, I have to jump in here. You haven't actually played Freedom Planet 2 yet.
No, I've not played 2.
So we're
I
going
played the
with
first
what
one.
we've been playing, and you
I'm
bring up.
just looking through my Steam list, and I'm trying to break dead air as I try to find out last played games.
Well, we can talk.
I bought.
Yeah, I mean,
You just keep looking.
There's-
Ceurvels and I will have a conversation. Ceurvels, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. You want to know what I played? Because that's only like 3 games. When he looks at his massive list.
Yeah, his fucking tome, Doomsday
Yeah,
Scroll.
I played some fucking Wolcen with you guys, which I was really hesitant to at first. It's got pretty middling reviews on Steam.
Telling you, Steam games not trustworthy. Don't listen to
And you
reviews.
know what? It doesn't do anything really like new, but it does have a really fun spell system.
I will say it does a lot of things really polished for like it really does feel like an upgrade between Diablo and Path of Exile. In between the
Yeah.
points of ridiculously stupid over the top slight increases wheel. And it's not super competitive in that regard either, because Path of Exile is like some sort of money sink gambling degenerate hellhole now. And then it's more advanced than Diablo ever was. I don't know. I didn't play Diablo 3. Maybe Diablo 3 jumped that up a notch.
Diablo 3 was pretty good. It's at first I was concerned it was gonna be anything new or exciting, and it's not really. But the way you can mix and match your spells and abilities and modify them, I think is a lot of fun. And that each ability levels up on its own, I think is cool. So like, if you put in a lot of time with a skill, that skill is notably better than your other skills, and I think that's cool. And the fact that I can turn my awesome fireball move that I started with into like a poison blasting, like it shoots poison balls instead of fireballs. I thought that was wild, and I think that's a really interesting spell system. I'd like to maybe goof around with a melee class too, and see what they've done there. But the spells are cool. I was worried I was going to step on your toes, Cory, because you're also a wizard. But no, the stat tree is cool. There's some cool stuff in there, but there's a lot of bulk, which it kind of sucks. And it's hard to refund and go back. It's expensive. It costs like those resources you get from redundant skill pickups.
Mm-hmm.
It costs like one of those to refund like 1 skill point, I think. But it may grow. I haven't fucked with it yet. So maybe respecking sucks, but I don't know.
I like to call it Diablo, but not by Blizzard.
Which is
Yeah.
actually really what we're looking for. Is I don't want to play a Blizzard game. So
Yeah.
But I do want to play a Diablo, which is a game I enjoyed in my youth.
I played
I
a little free game called Wool Loop, which you guys know that art where you take like a little board and you put little nails in it and then you tie string between it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like that but a video game. It was free. It was fun. It was kind of nice. Did I talk about handshakes or was that last week?
Yeah, you talked about handshakes last week.
Yeah. So
You talked about that, Ceurvels. Come on.
You really
Yeah,
do
I
have to
know.
keep things going. Yeah.
Played some more Risk of Rain, Risk of Rain Dukes, and I played some Dome Keeper, and I played a little Atomic Crops tonight. Love Atomic Crops. That's all I played this week. What'd you play, Cory?
Is Tom
Has
done?
Tom figured out his
Yeah,
list?
Tom, have you figured out your list yet?
Yeah, I guess I can tack on. I've been playing Pokemon Soul Silver, playing the Nuzlocke mode on stream.
Yeah, do push that.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah, we
playing
should do some
Nuzlocke
more of that
Run.
tonight. I'm fiending for more Pokemon.
Okay, well you two
Oh,
can
I
do.
kind of just want to shoot shit. I'm gonna play some
Oh, that's
Siege or
fair.
some Fortnite or something. I need a break because you kill so many Hoodoos. You kind of want to, jump off the
Yeah,
building.
I'm backseat gaming it. It's a little different.
Yeah, so off in between streams, I'll get them to like a standard level. So I got everybody to level 20 before last stream, and now I gotta get them all to like level 28 or something, and that's gonna fucking suck. So I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I'm surprised on how hard it is to level your Pokemon in that game. Considering the gym leader there has like level 28 Pokemon, but everything around it, everything around that area is like level 18 at the highest. So Pokemon's a little grindy. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to get to
it
there.
always
Yeah.
has been. This is like Gen 4 Pokemon. I mean, it's a Gen 2 remake, but it take place in Gen 4, and
I
yeah,
mean,
it's real grindy.
It's amazing
When I
that you
play-
still grind Pokemon. Like you told us that.
when I usually play Pokemon, I'll keep my starter and I'll catch a few Pokemon, and then those will be the ones I use the entire game, unless I find something I really like and I say, "Oh, I want that in my team." But that was very rare. Like I'll have the same Pidgeot and fucking Raticate the entire game, but because I'll just level those like Pokemon, and then because you use those same 2, 3 Pokemon, even one if you just use your starter, you just get all those trainer battles, and they're just super over leveled, so you can plow through everything if that's the route you want to go. But this
Yeah.
one, I'm trying to equally level like 6 different Pokemon, so it takes a while.
Well, I mean, like realistically, like the team you've got is not super well balanced. So, and I mean that's just how it be with Nuzlocke, right? Like you just
Nuzlocke, if
kind
people
of
don't know,
Yeah, you should
is
explain
you can only
Nuzlocke.
catch the first Pokemon you run into in any given area. So every time you go to a new route or a town or a cave, the first Pokemon you get in that area is the only one you can catch. If you don't catch it and you knock it out, you're done. You can't get it. And if your Pokemon gets knocked out, it's dead. You got to release it. So you're very limited in your resources. It's all up to chance of what you get in that first catch. And yeah, if somebody does like an explosion and knocks out your best Pokemon, R.I.P. Chadwick. That's like you can get completely wiped, and if you get wiped out, all 6 go out in one time, and you get brought back to the Pokemon Center. It's considered a game over. You can't get Pokemon from the box. You're done.
Also, every time you lose a Pokemon, you have to cut off a finger. And Tom hasn't really been following that rule.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Yakuza style.
Yakuza style, man. It's the street
Yeah.
rules in Nuzlocke.
Yeah, it's basically self-imposed hard mode on Pokemon. Which
Yeah.
I think is kind of fun. I've done a Nuzlocke before
Tom, who's your
myself.
favorite Nuzlocke Pokemon you've got so far?
Alive?
Yeah, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite living, and then who's your favorite overall? If there's somebody dead, that's your favorite.
Man, I really like Big Lou.
Big
Big
Lou is
Lou's
pretty good.
Big Lou and Jackson are like the two boys right now. Big Lou is a Sentret / Furret.
It's a
It's a
furret
Furret
now.
now. And Jackson being a Quagmire.
Quagsire.
Quagsire, whatever it's called.
All right, you
But
play.
yeah, I like Jackson as well. I like Whooper.
I'm wishing I named Dratini Noodle.
That would have been
I
fine.
mean, Sweet Tea is great. I like Sweet Tea. I think Sweet Tea's
Sweet
great.
Tea is cute, but this makes you think that's Southern Dratini.
I would-
Yeah.
little beam now.
All right. Well, you got any other games?
Ice Beam. I don't know. I got Judgment on PC. I played it. I own that game 3 times now. It looks good, I suppose. I didn't know Judgment had an English track. I thought it was just in Japanese, and I played it in English on the PC when I started it up. It's actually not a bad English dub of that game. I mean, it's no Yakuza 1 that had Mark Hamill and who was Mr. Blonde?
Oh,
Michael Madsen.
Michael
I mean, it's
Madsen,
not
yeah.
that level, but I might actually just keep it in English and play through it with that. Judgment being Yakuza spun off. Yakuza 7 became a turn-based RPG from its typical brawler. So to keep the brawler games going, they made a side series called Judgment, where you play like a disgraced lawyer who's now a detective, and it's pretty much just Yakuza again, where you're just really good at fighting for no particular reason, but you can just beat the shit out of people in a fake little region of Tokyo called Kamurocho. Returning characters, all that stuff. It's a solid game. I've yet to beat it. Those games take a very long time. I also played the original Hitman Codename 47. That game is incredibly rough, as you'd expect it to be. There's no quick saving in that game. If you play a mission, you play a mission. If you die, it's over. You start from the beginning. It's really rough.
All right.
So, what have
Tom's
you been playing, Corey?
Oh, sorry. It's been years. Hold on. Let's see. I played Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires.
Me too.
I like that game. I like the weird Empire mechanic. I haven't played too much, but the character customization is fun. The fact you can like make them your lieutenants mixed in with all the wacky ones, so you can have like, you know,
Can
John.
you make a hero in regular 8 with non-empires?
No, there's no character creation in regular 8, or as it's known
Okay.
on Steam, 8 Extreme Legends.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors traditionally would release its main game, Dynasty Warriors 3, and then they would have Dynasty Warriors 3 Extreme Legends, which was like a few more maps and like extra characters, but it's still at the core just expansion pack of 3. And they did it all. I think they still do it. Like up to 9 has an Extreme Legends version. It's just like
Yeah.
a expansion pack.
And so with that, like, you can you start as a wandering soldier, or you can start with your own kingdom. You can create custom unit groups, custom horses. It's a lot of fun strategy elements in between the goofy, stupid Dynasty Warriors combat, which is Dynasty Warriors. It's the same forever. So I like Empires. I also got Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends because I thought we were going to co-op that, but Tom said no split screen, and then he made pouty faces.
Yeah, that game doesn't have legit network support. It only has like the Steam. Let me jump onto your computer and play the second controller, and it's split screen, which is a miserable experience. Do not recommend it.
No screen peeking, Tom. I also got. I was playing Rad, which was made by. I thought Devolver Digital, but it's not. It's Double Fine.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It looks
I don't
like.
think Devolver Digital makes games; they're just a publisher.
Well, I thought it was published by Devolver Digital, but it's Double Fine. And it's. I think published by Bandai.
What?
I think it's Bandai Namco, right?
I mean, they're owned by Microsoft. Do you think Microsoft would publish it? Or
That's
did this come out before that?
It might have come out before that because that's what pops up at the loading screen. And Rad is just a roguelite twin stick shooter, jumpy around. You upgrade your character throughout. Takes place in a weird 1980s style post-apocalypse, very 80s new wave Turbo Kid feel to everything, and then your character just gets weird mutant powers that make them all like a cobra head or crab legs or like all kinds of goofy shit that you can use to fight and clear bosses and then upgrade further. And there's a currency system to get certain items. It's fun. I don't think it really caught on.
No, that came out to no regard. It's
It,
one of those middle games you just never heard about again.
I mean, it's definitely a little jank at times, but I think it's pretty all right. I was playing Wolcen, but we talked about that last week. I started playing Maho Kenshi, which is a deck building roguelike.
How is that?
It's fun. I really like because it's also mission based. So you'll have stuff like close this portal or get to the end of the map or avoid being murdered by this many turns. And so it makes and there's also extra objectives in each mission. So to balance like score, which you use for permanent unlocks, it's kind of a lot more tense than most games of its genre. And the fact that every new mission you get a new deck, you get some starter cards, some starter attack cards, and a few starter movement cards maybe. But then like your deck is just renewed every map because you'll find cards on the ground or you'll buy them in villages. There's little nodes for different purchase of cards or purchase of upgrades. So it's really interesting to like have a new deck each time you go into combat. There's an element of randomness I like to that. And also, all the maps, there's no procedural generation. All the maps are like done levels. And I think The Escapist did one of their 3-minute reviews about it, about how that kind of impacts replayability, but it also makes the maps much more interesting because they're crafted in such a way, right? Like the cards you can pick up are random, but the placement of everything and even enemies isn't random. So it's hard for replayability, but there's also 4 different character types in the game so far.
With different play styles.
Yeah, they have.
Right?
They think they all have different play styles. I haven't played any of the other characters yet. I've only played with the starter character because she just like beasts out on strength and damage, and that's a good play style to have. Just kill
From what
things.
I saw, each of them have their own different moves.
They do. They all have different cards that they can get. So I like it. It's a lot of fun. I want to play more of it. I might play some on stream.
Yeah, you should, because I'd like to watch. I was thinking about getting that game, and then I didn't.
Tom would hate it though. He hates boring games.
I have a very specific
Well, I mean, it's not a
interest
game where
range.
we're digging a tunnel, so we should be fine.
Tom hates tunnels. And I also replayed some Sands of Salazar.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
Yeah.
Bet you don't. Sands of Salazar is like an isometric view or top-down view. Mountain Blade meets like Diablo. It's made by a Chinese studio. It has like different classes. You gather up a little army, do quests in villages, and trade, gather resources. And then when you meet an enemy army or unit on the battle map, or like the overworld map, you go into a battle map. And then there's level requirements and there's different like really cool like destroying skills that you can use. It's pretty fun. it's a pretty simple art style as well. It's made by a small Chinese team, but the real issue is not everything's translated yet, even though it's been fully released.
That's not a full release then.
What's a full release in China?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a full release worldwide, nerd.
So sometimes like text will pop up and I'm like, that's not English. Those are Chinese characters. I wonder what that man just said to me.
Does
Or
it say like English supported on the Steam page?
yeah, I mean it's supposed to be fully translated now, and most of it is. I mean some of the translation's a little rough, but most of it's fine. It's just like I guess there's just so many things that like random passerby or NPCs could say to you, and sometimes the dialogue box just pops up and it's Chinese characters. I don't know what it's saying. I'm sure. I hope that wasn't important.
Pull out your phone and hit the translate button.
Yeah. The thing is, the pop-ups don't last that long either, so I assume it's just like passing dialogue. It's. I mean, I'd recommend it briefly if it's on sale. I think it might be on sale now because the full release just came out, but I've had it since early release because I wanted to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
You can create your own little custom character, which is very simple on the battle map, but like your portrait you can make with all these little different like dress up doll style 2D plugin things. And it's I don't know how to describe it except saying very Asian in terms of design when it comes to like very beautiful women and like very rugged ass men. Like a lot of the women's like accoutrements are like lipstick, fancy earrings, puppies, goofy little girl stuff like that, and then the guys were like big burly beards and scars and battle axes. There's a real like gender division in it. It's whatever.
China.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like Trump.
China.
All right, I guess that's everything. Tom, unless you have
I
some
played
more.
Fire Emblem Engage.
Okay, I was gonna say unless you had some more games to fucking add.
I forgot about that thing this week.
You mentioned it earlier, actually.
It's pretty much that. It's another. It's not as bad so far. It's not as bad as the last one in terms of the side activities. Yeah, I've been consistently getting into fights. There's some cats in your little castle, which is pretty cool. But I really hope it stays like that, man. I fucking hated that school in that last game. Terrible. It's Fire Emblem. You get rings that will equip previous Fire Emblem heroes to you, so you like duel up with them. It's weird. I don't really understand it, but like, yeah, I got the ring that gives me Marth, so my character is my character plus Marth, and they can combine together for a few turns and do like critical attacks and stuff like that. And it's still Fire Emblem. It's all right. I like it. That's all I gotta say.
What I gotta say is even though we stopped talking about that waifu list, Mommy Milkers isn't mentioned once, and that's a crime.
I
Are they-
went back to that waifu list and like there's
Who's number one?
I don't remember who number one is. Some Persona character, but number 5 is straight up
Oh.
Isabel, and number like
The
20 or
Animal
something
Crossing
is
Isabel?
like straight up like it's just this lolly, and it's like I don't want to talk about that list anymore. That's fucking gross.
2B's on there though. That's a normal one. That's a
She's an
fetish.
android.
2B is like yeah, that's a normal one, but like
She's a murder bot.
I mean,
yeah,
also,
but people are horny for her.
I mean, she's part of a fetish game though. She's designed that way. Like the creator came out and said, "This is how I design them." Penny's out. Like, what do you want?
Isn't everybody a slut in that game though? I haven't played it. but,
Um,
like, the
You will
boys are sluts
regret your
too,
words
right?
and deeds.
the little
Is Quiet on that list? Because that'd be gross.
quiet
Yeah,
quiet
she's
is
on
also on
that
that list.
Oh, that's gross.
But it's weird that they don't have the tall lady Resident Evil. That was the internet's favorite
Lady
wife.
Demetre.
Yeah, that's it. Like she's hot and giant, and people want her to crush her. You know,
No, they have 2 actual children on that list instead.
they have a
Fucking weird
dog
and gross.
child.
Yeah, 2
Cortana is
children and a
AI.
dog.
She's not even a person.
I mean,
Yeah, so
Cortana.
whatever. The list isn't good. The list isn't good.
Look, I've
Like,
looked for a
whatever.
Wi-Fi list to bring up our own game things. I didn't make the fucking list, okay? I can't.
We're judging the people who did.
Yeah.
I don't know who Fandom Spot is, and I hope I hope they're on the same list as Tom for that Neptunia game.
They got the Zora chick from Breath of the Wild on here.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah, it's not a good list.
Oh, it's a character from Persona 5. I'm not a big Persona 5 fan to begin with.
All right, I think we should wrap this up because people are knocking at my door.
Yeah, I've had enough of
Come
this.
and knock at your door.
All right, let's just talk about Medusa some more. Everyone's
Yeah,
favorite crush.
she's a nice lady.
Sorry, no. I take that back. Who can it be now?
Okay. Follow us on Twitch and on Discord.
Give us your
Doesn't matter.
favorite waifus. Make sure they're legal.
Yeah, fucking be normal. Impossible difficulty.
No
Just be
5,000-year-old
normal.
dragons.
I know Isabel. That's really creepy. She's
Yeah.
No Zoras. Don't be banging fish.
Yeah.
What?
no,
weird.
but the bird people are fine.
No bird people either.
Arthur Morgan, he
don't-
doesn't wash enough. That's ew.
Build healthy.
People like that rugged look.
Build healthy relationships with real humans.
All right, talk to you guys later.
Oh, okay. We're just ending like that, huh?
I am literally I'm being invaded by Germans.
Oh no, not again!
All right.
It's happening again.
Bye, Cory.
Well, I mean, we're gonna say goodbye, everyone.
Oh, I thought we already did. I thought we did. Fucking follow us on Twitch and join our Discord.
Yeah, we're playing Pokemon.
Nuzlocke.
People make bad decisions for me, and I blame them, and I hate them with all my heart. But I also like them because they're my buddies.
All right.
We're gonna get you through that Pokemon game, buddy.
Good. Take care.
Bye.